The Elder Scrolls Tabletop game is one of the most obvious forms of plagiarism you'll ever see. Loot boxes might finally get the axe, and a new trailer dropped for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm Timothy Tien, and this is the Weekly Roundup. I love plagiarism stories. I don't love plagiarism, I just love the stories, because when you run into a story like this, when you see such blatant plagiarism, it makes you wonder, how could they believe that they would get away with this? I'm talking right now about Bethesda's Elder Scrolls-themed tabletop RPG, which they pulled due to plagiarism, and this is like super obvious plagiarism. You know how sometimes you see a case of plagiarism, particularly in school essays, and you're like, oh, it's not as blatant as I thought. They just paraphrased a few things, did a little research, and forgot to cite it. This is full-blown pretty much copy and pasted. This Ars Technica article shows several side-by-side comparisons of text from a Dungeons & Dragons adventure published by Wizards of the Coast alongside the game, and you can clearly see how similar they are. Just pause the video and read them. It's pretty crazy, right? And I found this one just hilarious because they straight up stole an entire character. Look here. Chandra Stoll, a priestess in Parnast, has offered whomever delivers the statue 50 gold pieces payable upon arrival in Parnast. And the character in the Elder Scrolls game, Chandra Stoll, a priest in Rimmon, will pay you when the statue arrives in one piece. Like, really? So yeah, a bunch of people came out and talked about this, one of which happened to be Paige Leitman, who co-authored the D&D adventure. After all the similarities came to light, a Bethesda spokesperson said, quote, "We're digging in deeper to figure out what happened, but in the meantime, we've pulled the adventure based on what has been brought to light, though there hasn't been any more word about the case since." After all the recent controversies behind loot boxes started to become more public, we've been seeing places like Belgium calling it illegal gambling and other gambling regulators investigating it. However, the US, while concerned, hasn't really made any moves, that is, until now. A while back, Senator Maggie Hassan urged FTC officials to look into loot boxes, and now we also have Senator Josh Hawley entering the ring with a proposed legislation dubbed the Protecting Children from Abusive Games Act. Hawley hopes to ban loot boxes and pay-to-win microtransactions in, quote, games played by minors. And this wording seems to be intentionally pretty vague, as Hawley mentions it will include games designed for kids and games, quote, whose developers knowingly allow minor players to engage in microtransactions. A new trailer came out for the Final Fantasy VII Remake we've all been waiting for. It's been a really long time since we heard any news regarding the remake. It was first announced at E3 2015, so yeah, about 4 years now. Back then it was just a cinematic trailer with a small glimpse of gameplay a little later in the year. And this is something that was reconfirmed in the Japanese press release for the announcement, and it's being met with pretty mixed feelings. Would you play it during the episodic releases, or would you rather wait? Let us know in the comments, and if you like our stuff, get subscribed and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's all for now, and I'll catch you guys next time.